All right, y'all, let's get into this video. We are watching NQ futures today. Um, I, and I outlined the market last night on my live, but I'll do it again. I'll do a real quick one again since the market just opened. We still do have some time. On a 15-minute chart, that's where you guys will see my liquidity that I had marked out. I had these levels marked out last night, but as you guys can see, we came down here, we swept a few of these levels. I am looking for this gap, this 15-minute gap right here to remain open. Um, I'm not trying to predict it. I'm not trying to jump too fast into the market to see if it's going to remain open. I'm going to wait to see if this 15-minute fair value gap remains open, because if it does, then almost for sure we're going to see the market continue to go up and break through these daily highs as well, right? This is a 1 hour order block up here, this little yellow box, and then right on top of this yellow box, we have a rejection block as well. So that's why I'm not trying to really make any predictions. The only thing I'm going to be doing this morning, you guys, is waiting for a sweep of liquidity and then a breakaway gap to be formed afterwards before I take a trade, if I take a trade today, right? So that's what we're going to be looking for. I'm going to drop it to the 1 minute. I just want to be able to see the market a little bit cleaner. Okay, the 1 minute, nothing's really happening on the 1 minute right now, so I'm going to switch back to at least a 5. And as you guys can see, we do have some liquidity up here that needs to be swept. Um, it's Monday, so my expectations aren't really that high, but we're going to see what the market gives us. Currently waiting for that first presented fair value gap, so I'm going to drop back into the 1 minute. Technically, I guess this is technically the first presented fair value gap right here. It's very small, very insignificant, but I will put it on my chart as well. So it's definitely looking like we may get this run up before we get the run down. I'm still not really willing to trust it just yet. When we first came to sweep liquidity, we didn't see a instant, um, fair value gap being made, yet alone a breakaway gap. So I'm not really trusting this right now. I'm just gonna have to wait for more information, and see what the market wants to do. But we do have a inversion on the 1 minute time frame. We just came up here to sweep some liquidity on the smaller time frames as well. So just nothing to do just yet. Just a lot of back and forth. So this is why I make videos talking about not only being able to identify liquidity, but waiting for liquidity to be taken and then waiting for that fair value gap, that breakaway fair value gap, which is when price pretty much creates a fair value gap and then don't even come back to touch it. I think that's one of the strongest signatures you will see in the market. Um, because like just imagine like if you would have just taken this turtle soup sell just because it swept this liquidity. I mean, it would have gave you like maybe 5 or 10 points, but it's nothing really significant in there, right? So on a Monday, it's always best to just come in low expectations. Don't try to do too much. Always remember that the market just may not even do anything on a Monday, but typically it at least will give you one decent move, right? So that's what we're looking for today, at least one decent move. very slow. So far, first 20 minutes of the day, very slow. Not really exciting at all. And actually, I was wrong about the first presented. This is actually the first presented right here. This is how you guys know. Even I'm moving pretty slow today. This is actually the first presented right here. Broke below, came back up, broke above. Have not yet to retest just yet, but at least we have a more significant first presented fair value gap right here. All right, you guys can see right here we have gotten a retest of the first presented fair value gap. Now we are moving up. Still don't know if I'm going to place a trade. This is very choppy. Are we likely to keep going up? Possibly, but this is very slow price action for me. I'm not in love at all. Let me see. I was away. I probably would have never taken that first presented fair value gap trade anyway, but I just want to look at the risk to reward if I was to take it. Okay, 1.5 to 1. That's not too bad. Not really exciting. If it do keep going, then that's 2 to 1 if it goes there. Then if it keeps going higher, it could go up to like a 3 to 1, a little bit higher than the 3 to 1, but me personally, I'm more interested in seeing it sweep some liquidity down here before we go up here and take those highs out. We do have relative equal highs up here at 23,756, where this pink line is at. Like I said, we got previous day high, and then we have some stuff in here that we're going to possibly work into today. I would have preferred to see us go down a little bit more before we swept all of this up here. But it's all good. I am, now that I zoom in on a 1 minute, I do see a potential breakaway gap, so I actually might take this trade because as you guys can see right here, market open, we swept liquidity once, broke above the first presented, made some liquidity in here, we swept that liquidity. Now there's a first presented on the 1 minute time frame. If you guys look at the 9:55 candle on the 1 minute time frame, if that gets left open, I might just take a buy. But I want to see how price moves as it pulls back a little bit, because we do have a little bit of a swing low right here on this 10:01 a.m. candle right here. So I want to see if we're going to drop down and respect this breakaway gap. Then I might just take that trade. But if we don't, then I'll still be waiting. So well, just that fast, we got wicked. Must have been some type of Trump news, but we got wicked right there. So that instantly invalidates my idea that I had on a buy, but I still do think we may be going up. I just want to wait for more confirmation. I really wasn't expecting a random wick at 10:03. I don't know what happened with that. It just shows you how choppy Mondays truly are. So now I will be waiting because, like I said, I wanted that little gap to remain open. We did sweep some liquidity. We did make a gap, but now that one little candle has given me a ton of information. And even though my bias is going up today, taking buys, I still want to wait because we do have some more liquidity down here um, inside of the new week opening gap that we can possibly take out. Um, around the high to mid 600 area, 23,600. So I'm just going to be waiting for that as well. See what we do. We're touching this fair value gap right now. Like I said, still don't trust it, but the next thing I would do is measure out that wick that was just created at 10:03 and see if that's going to potentially hold price. If I had to take a guess, I would say no, but we're going to be watching it just to see. Also, we're going to be watching this gap right here on the 10:09 1 minute candle. There's a gap right up in here. I want to see how price is going to behave if we even touch into this gap. This could also be a breakaway gap as well. For going to the downside, if we don't touch in there, we might just want to go down a little bit. I'm just trying to get as much information as I can before doing anything. So we did touch into that fair value gap as well. So that is not a breakaway gap right there. So just a lot of back and forth. Like I said, I want to be buying more than anything today, but I have to really wait for some type of liquidity to be swept. Otherwise, I'll probably be sitting inside of some chop, right? Because that's what I consider this to be is chop. So, you know, I want to when I get into the market, I want to really get into the market that's actually moving around. That way, I can keep my mind clear. I can keep my head clear. Sometimes I might actually miss a trade because of it, but if you guys seen my breakaway gap video, I told you guys in that video one of the most powerful signatures is a liquidity sweep followed by a fair value gap that is going to not be touched by price, right? So that's what qualifies a breakaway gap. And typically when you see that pattern happen, it's a really great pattern and you're going to be able to get a really good stop loss and a really good take profit as well. So that's what I'm waiting for. I want to be as disciplined as possible, being halfway done with my phase one account. And I'm looking to get funded again here soon so I can start making some money from trading as well. But so far, it do look like we're going back up. I still haven't taken any trades yet, so Notice how as soon as we hit this liquidity right here, we're starting to have a little bit of a reaction. So this is why I am waiting on the sideline. This is why I'm waiting on the sideline. Because even though I know we want to go up, price is just looking a little bit too slow, too choppy for me. You know, this first presented fair value gap gave us a decent little bounce right here. You see, we made liquidity right here, came back down, swept that liquidity, had a bounce up. We did make a gap. I was looking to buy from this area. I wanted to see this gap be left open, but then we had a candle at 10:03, came down and wick price, kind of threw me off a little bit. Because it did not sweep this liquidity, I did think that it may have continued to or wanted to continue to go up, which is what it have done. But I'm still waiting for a much cleaner price action because this is a lot of waiting in here to only get 20 or 30 points. So I don't really want to be in that trade for long. If I do enter the trade, I would have entered for a very small risk, like on a 50K account. I probably would have only risked $100 or something like that. So it would have been pretty much insignificant for me to take that trade anyways. When I do take a trade, I want to be able to have a trade that's offering me at least 1%, right? So I want to be able to risk a half to 1% to make a half to 1%, right? So far, this type of price action have not really allowed me to feel confident enough to be able to get into a trade that like that. So I'm just waiting on the sidelines. I am just waiting on the sidelines. That was a very strange wick right there. Let me run to the 15-minute time frame real fast. I just want to see. Okay, let me move this up a little bit higher. And then I can move this up a little bit higher as well now. Drop back into the 1 minute time frame. I'm Just trying to see if this is the market going to pick up any momentum here soon. All right, we just got above that liquidity that I just updated on my chart. Let's see if we continue to go higher and higher. So far, I do like the slow uptrend. Shout out to anybody who have taken this trade, but it's not for me. It's real slow. I don't really like it, but when I get into the market, I like the market to be moving, like moving pretty fast. All of this is pretty much chop to me, right? It's tradable chop, but it's not. Like I said, if I would have traded it, I would have went very small on my risk and probably would have gotten out way too early anyway. So it would have never really made a really big difference on my prop firm account anyway. So Zoom in on this right here. One thing I will say before, as we get to the end of this screen, because I don't think I'm going to be here for much longer. Don't really seem like too much is going on. But one thing I will say is days like this, you guys see how easy the first presented fair value gap offers you a nice little trade. Still wasn't the fastest movement in price action, but not every day will the first presented fair value gap be this clean. Right? Most of the time, you will get the market may break above the first presented, fake you out, come back, break below the first presented. And that's why it's important to know about liquidity, right? Because during this whole entire run up, notice how I did not get too excited. I didn't push the button. I didn't say, oh, I'm just going to get in there to try to make 10 or 20 points. There's nothing wrong with doing that, but days like this, you have to really just be comfortable with just reading price action. You know, it's a Monday. We all know there's nothing worse than starting the trading week off with a loss. And when the market is like this, there's no real reason to be in the market. And if you are in the market, your risk needs to be extremely low. So that's the reason why I didn't get in. Because like I told you guys before, in order for me to trade this market, I'm only going to be risking about $100 on a 50K. I mean, on the 50K account. $100 on a 50K account pretty much means just don't even trade. There's no reason. I might as well save that 100. Don't matter if I'm right. Don't matter if I'm wrong. Just save myself the headache of being in the market and having to watch this for almost a whole hour. We've been watching the market do absolutely nothing now. Right? Is this the type of market I want to be in? Absolutely not. And especially when you have things to do. Like me, I'm at work right now. I'm just doing all of this on break. But and I'm pretty sure a lot of you can relate to that. We be trying to trade while we at work. We try to trade while we at school. Some of us are trying to trade at a wedding or at a birthday. Sometimes it may be worth it to do all of that, but in this type of a market, it's not really that worth it right now. Maybe during the evening session, price becomes a little bit cleaner as far as the movement where it wants to go. But right now, this it hasn't really done anything. The first hour of the day, our range has been what maybe close to 100 points. That's the entire range since market open. There's nothing wrong with a 100-point range, but when it's moving this slow, it makes it very hard to get in there and actually do something and want to be a part of the market, actually want to hold for or take profit. And especially, it should not make you want to be using too much size right now. So, right now, what I'm looking at, you guys, I don't think we're going to get a reversal anytime soon. But right now, we did sweep that liquidity, and we are respecting these order blocks on a 1-minute time frame. So if we did want to start pulling back and sweeping some of this liquidity going to the downside, I would not be too surprised to see that. But I don't know if it's going to happen. The price has been moving very slow, so I'm just going to really just wait and take my time. I'll probably stay here for at least another 30 minutes, and then I'm going to call it a day if I can't find anything. So I am So I do think I'm going to end it here in a couple of minutes, you guys. Don't want to waste all of my breaks on this slow moving market. So more than likely it will be no trade for me today. Um, was there opportunity to take a trade? Yes, there was, but I am my goal for me personally is to only use my strategy, and this really isn't my strategy right here. As far as the respect we got on the first presented, that's a part of my strategy, but I want to see everything play out when I'm taking trades from now on because, like I said, one of my biggest goals is not only to get funded again, but to be more consistent when I'm funded. And in order for me to be more consistent when I'm funded, I need to be able to not trade on days like this, right? It's nothing wrong with if you did trade on a day like this, you went with very small sizing, which I feel like that's the only way to do it. It's nothing wrong with that, but at the moment, I just feel like sitting here watching this market, it's not really nothing going on. What I would advise, like a new trader, to do is just to go do something else. Go enjoy life. There's no reason to just sit here and just waste your time reading this market because obviously there's nothing going on, right? Maybe something will happen for the evening session, but I'm going to be driving and at work by then, so I'll be watching, but more than likely I won't be trading it. But we did get our first presented fair value gap right here, 931 candle right here. Price broke below it. We swept some liquidity, and then we broke back above, retested this first presented fair value gap. At the same time, swept this liquidity right here, and then we moved up to that liquidity that you guys seen that we had up here. So nothing really too crazy. I mean, if you would have got in around here, first presented, maybe you could have got 20, 30 points. That could have been a good enough trade to maybe give you some confidence going into the week, give you your first green day. But for me, it's just not enough there for me to even want to push the button and be stressing myself out and having to watch the chart. So that was it for me, you guys. I know I was a little bit quiet in this video. I'm gonna try to do a better job moving forward with the commentary. But honestly, I don't want to just be going on rants and going on complete lectures. If you guys are in the chat and y'all have any questions, then I would love to answer the questions then. But when I'm reading this price, you guys, I'm quiet because that's how I trade in real life. I'm not just talking to myself when I'm trading in real life. I'm quiet. I'm really trying to analyze everything, and whenever there's something of significance, I will point that out to you guys as well. So I think we're going to be ending this stream right here. And I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure y'all drop a like on this video. If you are interested in using prop firms, make sure y'all check out the description on my YouTube video and use my link and use my creator code, which is trucking, right? That's the best way to support the channel right now. And we do have a free Telegram group as well. If you guys are interested in joining that, being a part of the community, definitely make sure y'all join that as well. And I will see y'all in the next video. Peace out. Hope everybody had a good trading day. See y'all tomorrow.